He previously has said this.
Hey, make this go viral, y'all, because I'm on some real shit right now. Just think. If y'all want the murder rate to go fucking down, why y'all on this make a fucking state for straight grave niggas, straight hitters, and let us just kill each other? Let us just go dumb, you heard me? And if the other ones kill outside of the state lines, the government get to kill them or kill y'all. Like, if the ones won't bang for us, I will.
That NBA YoungBoy will have 4KT spin all night till they get back for NBA Ben 10. And Boule NBA YoungBoy brother just confirmed that rumor. Y'all actually heard every single word that just came out of Boule mouth. That ain't a song, that ain't a lyric, that ain't no interview where somebody was performing for the camera, choosing words carefully because a PR team prepped them. That's Boule NBA YoungBoy brother on live, talking raw, unfiltered, no publicist, no label rep in his ear, nothing standing between him and the world except a phone screen. Just a man who just watched his brother's closest partner get lit up inside a Houston restaurant, processing it in real time, saying exactly what was on his mind. And the internet did not know what to do with it. Because here's the thing, when you actually break down what Boule said word for word, line for line, what you're hearing is not random ranting. What you're hearing is a man trying to hold grief and rage in the same body at the same time and failing beautifully. That's human. That's real. And the streets heard every word of it, loud and crystal clear. Stay with me, because this whole situation, from the night of April 8th inside that Houston restaurant, to that clip dropping to where things stand right now, is deeper, more layered, and more complicated than anything the blogs have given you. Way deeper. All right, fam, to understand the full weight of what Boule said on that live, you gotta understand who NBA Ben 10 actually is to this circle. Not who the media says he is, who he actually is. Because the blog's been calling him an affiliate, like he's just some peripheral dude who runs in YoungBoy's orbit on the edges, like he's a background character in somebody else's story. No, that is not the story. Ben 10, real name Ben Anthony Fields, is a 26-year-old Baton Rouge native who is, by most accounts from people genuinely close to the situation, not just an affiliate. He is family, a close cousin, the dude who was present before the cameras existed, before the streams, before the platinum plaques and the sold-out arenas and the tour buses. He was there when YoungBoy was still grinding, still proving himself, still becoming who the world knows him as today. He filmed content, he moved through videos, he showed up in the creative work consistently because he was part of the actual life being documented. Not a hired hand, not a yes man, not somebody who appeared after the success came. He was embedded in the foundation. You want concrete proof of how deep that bond runs? After the shooting, a message from YoungBoy about Ben 10 started recirculating online, something he'd said years ago that hit completely different in the context of what just happened. He talked about Ben 10's daughter, said he hadn't gotten the chance to see her and that it was weighing on him, said her daddy was out there in the streets and that he was going to be the one to hold her down if anything ever happened. Read that again. That is not how you talk about someone you cut a check to. That is not how you talk about a business associate or a promotional affiliate. That is how you talk about someone whose children you feel responsible for. That is blood-level loyalty articulated in plain language. And then, in 2025, YoungBoy reportedly gifted Ben 10 $250,000. A gift. Not a deal, not a feature advance, not a business.
We're talking about when we say NBA 10. So when the news broke that Ben 10 got shot inside Confessions in Houston, this was not the industry losing a peripheral figure. This was YoungBoy's circle losing someone from the absolute core of it. And everyone who understands that dynamic understood immediately why the reaction from the family was so raw, so immediate, so unfiltered. Here's another layer people been sleeping on. Ben 10 wasn't just connected to YoungBoy. He was building his own lane, his own brand, his own presence independent of the association. His Instagram, MGNG10X, crossed 1 million followers. He was running slime-designed clothing. He was videographing, directing, creating. His track, Play With Me, connected with a younger fan base and showed that he had his own voice, his own cadence, that southern Baton Rouge delivery that has YoungBoy's DNA in it, but carries Ben 10's own edge and urgency. He was doing what the smartest people in this era of hip-hop are learning to do, turning authenticity into a brand without losing what made him authentic in the first place. Social media presence, merchandise, music, content. He was building infrastructure, and he was doing it as a father, 2 sons, True and Ben, who he posted about regularly, a man building something for his kids to inherit. That's who is inside Confessions on April 8th, not just an affiliate, a creator, a businessman, a father, a cousin, a cornerstone of a major rap circle who had his whole trajectory ahead of him. Now, let's talk about what actually happened that night. The blogs gave y'all the surface. Let me give y'all the full picture. April 8th, 2026, late night, Houston, Texas, Upper Kirby area. For those who don't know Houston geography, Upper Kirby is one of the city's more upscale, high-traffic neighborhoods. Restaurants, lounges, money moving, the kind of area where people go to celebrate, to be seen, to enjoy themselves, without expecting the streets to follow them inside. Confessions, Restaurant and Lounge, a spot built by Houston entrepreneur Sterling Lewis into one of the city's most talked-about dining destinations. Celebrity clientele, premium atmosphere, the kind of venue that has a reputation to protect. Ben 10 was there. Hours before everything popped off, he posted an Instagram story hanging with OG33, YoungBoy's manager and one of the most important operational figures in the entire Never Broke Again machine. The caption was casual. Nobody looking at that story at 9 p.m. saw what was 2 hours away. Around 11:30 p.m., something shifted. Houston Police Lieutenant R. Wilkins laid out what investigators pieced together from video footage and witnesses on the scene. A suspect was at the location, got into a confrontation with a couple of people, and from all available evidence, what triggered it was a chain-snatching attempt, somebody targeting this individual's jewelry. Wilkins indicated it appeared they may have known him, may have been watching him specifically. This didn't look like a random crime of opportunity. It looked like a targeted move. The physical confrontation went on for 30 seconds to a minute. The suspect got taken to the ground, the chains may have come off, and then, out of nowhere, the suspect produced a firearm he'd concealed on his person,
Randomly into an enclosed space with 20 to 30 people inside. 2 people went down. One victim took multiple shots to the torso. The other sustained wounds to the arms and lower extremities. Both transported to local hospitals in critical condition. The victim shot multiple times in the torso. Ben 10. 20 to 30 people in that room, and Ben 10 caught the worst of what that gun produced. He was rushed out of there fighting for his life. Within the hour, social media had already decided he was dead. The rips started flying before anybody had confirmed anything. Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, the whole internet moving in the same wrong direction at the same speed. OG Monique, mother of OG33, one of the most trusted and connected women in the Never Broke Again family, got on Instagram and posted a story that cut through every bit of the noise in one sentence. 10 is alert. Stop the made-up stories. Short, direct, final. No elaboration needed. That post became the anchor that stopped the spiral. The streets needed to hear it. His fans needed to hear it. And what it confirmed, the one thing everyone desperately wanted to know, was that Ben 10 was alive and conscious. But alive and recovered are not the same thing. Multiple gunshot wounds to the torso. Fam, critical condition. The family confirmed he was alert, but alert in a hospital bed after being shot multiple times is not the same as okay. This was serious on a level that changes a person's life, and everyone in that circle knew it. Then B-Way went live. While people were still processing, while Houston police were still on scene, while the family was still getting real-time updates, B-Way got on live and spoke. Play it back if you need to. Every word matters. And he said, make it go viral. He asked for a dedicated zone where the streets could operate without bringing down murder rates that get politicized. He talked about how the system has changed the game, how anybody who moves today ends up going to the feds because the infrastructure for that response exists now in a way it didn't before. He said the late-night accountability that used to govern street politics has been eliminated by surveillance and federal prosecution. And then he said it plainly, I love to bang. I'm back on that type of stuff. Now let me break this down because people been reacting to the emotion of the clip without sitting with the content. Boué is not speaking randomly. Every part of what he said connects to a real and documented shift in how street culture operates in the modern era. The federalization of local crimes,